Hi everybody, another update. Again, been 2 or 3 weeks I think since the last one. This is what I just finished recently. Haven't actually done a massive amount lately because well, I had about a week of not doing any painting because we had to go down to Cornwall looking at houses. So that took up a few days and a weekend, and then it was a bit of a struggle to get back into it once I got home, various things. But yeah, just started painting again the other night actually, so yeah, about a week without doing anything. I think last thing you saw was painting these Galloping Major French Indian War Rangers, which I finished. Well, I finished 6 of them. I've got another 2 to do for a group of 8. Yeah, so I'm going to do those 2 next. I think, well, I'm part way through something else, but I'm going to do those 2 next. So that finishes off a 8-man unit for Musket and Tomahawk. But yeah, these are the Rangers. Say Galloping Major, as always, lovely figures. They've got these Indian leggings called Matisses, I believe. I've been looking on the Galloping Major site because they've got some painting guides. And apparently the leggings that the Rangers wore could be sort of buckskin coloured or brown, whatever, or blue. So I've done half of these in a kind of buckskin type colour and half in blue. This chap here's got them in blue. And other than that, I've done some of them with, well, the ones that have got open coats, I've just done sort of a few different waistcoats. That's a very dark brick red. Got a chap there with blue. Blue waistcoat. So I'm going to sort of do that with them. Give them different various coloured waistcoats as I go through them. A chap kneeling. I love the way Lance, who's the guy in charge of Galloping Major, does kneeling. Oops. Kneeling figures, shooting. I like the way he sort of seems to be very realistic, the way they're sort of looking down the sights and that, and taking aim. Really good. Like I say, I'm highly impressed with Galloping Major. Here's another example of one. It's an unpainted one, but it's a militiaman. Really love the kneeling figures he does. Sort of captures the sort of stance of someone taking aim. Brilliant. Yeah, so that's the 6 Rangers. Just got those 2 to go with them. And still on the French Indian War theme. I know it's a shed in some of the base there. I don't know if I've actually... Yeah, these ones I haven't actually sealed the bases on those. I've got to do that. I don't think I did. No, I don't think I have. Currently painting some Mohawk Indians. Found them a bit of a struggle. I think it's because of having the sort of week break from them. I just haven't, I mean, I do sort of love these figures and the period, but I find if I get some reason I have to stop painting for a while, I find it hard to get back into. And I'm sort of finding these a bit difficult, but nearly there with them. This one on the end here is actually an AW Miniatures one. and the rest are Galloping Major. So there's a couple in tops. Just done his in a sort of, I used German camo beige because I thought it'd look kind of like a natural linen kind of colour, and just highlighted it with, I think I used off-white or something. So I think that's pretty good. And this one, he's just got a white top, which I did with Vallejo, deck tan, and then off-white on top of that. But I mean, look at these Indians and it looks like there's not much on them, but there bloody well is, actually. Yeah, there just seems to be more on them than at first appearance. So I'm going to finish off painting the bits and bobs I've got on them, and then try and put some sort of decorative bits on, you know, little stripy patterns on some of the, I mean, the leggings at the Mohawks, where I got these seams down the front. You can just about make that out. And they usually had some sort of decoration on them, so I'm going to sort of tart those up a bit. And then the sort of wraps they've got, the ties, do those in various colours. Sort of straps for the bags and stuff, I'm not sure. Don't know if I'm just going to leave them as leather, or I might do some of them with, you know, some sort of pattern on them, because you know, they did like the sort of decorations. But by the same token, I don't want to be spending forever on them, because I just want to sort of get on to the next lot. Skin tone, I think I'll get a Ranger and compare. Shove these back a bit. I think I've got a decent sort of skin tone for the Indians. Now I'm trying to remember. Oh yeah, I used cork brown as a base. That's Vallejo, and then I then used Games Workshop's Flesh Wash, Franklin Flesh shade, I think it is, and then used Vallejo brown rose and then beige red as highlights, and then went over that again with Vallejo's flesh tone wash, which is a bit more of a reddy colour than a brown, and I think it's pretty much given the sort of Native American look, I hope. I actually wrote down, I did an Woodland Indian a while ago. Where is he? This one. And I wrote down the way I did it, and I hadn't done it for about a year and a half. And I came back to it and followed the recipe, if you want to call it that, of how I painted this chap. And these ones that were coming out nothing like it, I thought, just couldn't believe it. I thought, I wrote all this down, so why is it not working? So then I went and revised it, and they pretty much look like him now, I think. Skin tone wise, so they all fairly well match. Another thing I'll point out is, you probably noticed I'm actually doing the eyes on these. I think I find with figures like this, you know, where they're not wearing headgear and the faces are well exposed, I think, especially with, I don't know, you know, tribesman type figures, I think you need the eyes to sort of bring them to life a bit more. I'd left them, you know, the eyes unpainted, and it just didn't look right, so I'm going through doing the eyes on all the Woodland Indians, but I don't think I'll do it on the other troops because they all look alright. But I think figures like this, they just sort of seem to need it. So a bit of a pain, because I got out of the habit of doing them, but yeah, they look alright, I think. Don't look too sort of goggle-eyed, and it's not taking too long, to be honest, to do them. So yeah, for all the Woodland Indians, I think I'll just do all the eyes. So that's those. Yeah, a group of 6, and there's going to be 3 groups of those for the foursome building for muskets and tomahawks. Excuse me, a bit croaky. I think now I've finished work. I don't know if anyone else finds this. Once you start to relax, you start to sort of come down with things. I feel like I'm getting a cold now because I've just chilled out completely and sort of let myself go, as it were. It always happens to me. The moment I stop sort of working, you know, and I hate working, I've got to say. I don't love work. But the moment I stop working, I start feeling a bit rough. This is the next lot to do. These are, again, Galloping Major. They're militia. And this chap is I think when you buy stuff from Galloping Major, you get like unit deals, you get free figures, and he's like, they call them soldiers free. And this was like I believe it's a militia captain figure. So I'm using him as an actual leader, because in muskets and tomahawks you have units, and then you have separate leaders. I'm using him as the militia leader, because, like, for instance, the British force that I'm making is going to have 3 different leaders. There's going to be a militia leader, and they all have different, you roll up different characteristics for them. So I'm having a militia leader and 2 sort of line troop leaders. Yeah, so 3 in total. And I think actually 4, because I think I've got an Indian leader as well. So I've got to sort out a figure for him. Yeah, lovely looking figures again. Look forward to painting. I think so far the militia figures have been my favourites in the Galloping Major stuff I've done. Something about them, I just love I don't know, really like them. Yeah, well impressed with them. Yeah, they're my favourites, definitely my favourites at the moment, the militia stuff. So that's what's coming up next to paint. And last thing, something I'm sort of reviving. Shouldn't be doing it, but I just can't help myself. Started listening to Reese, Busy Bristles, and he was talking about Dark Age Welsh, so I went and bought some, obviously, and then I started looking at my Dark Age collection that was part way through, and I thought, yeah, I really fancy getting back onto my Irish. So I had all these dogs based on square, rectangular bases, and I took them off, put them on circular bases now. This is for Saga. One of the units you can have in Welsh, in Irish, is dog handler and pack of dogs. Apparently they can be a bit handy because they just like harass the opponent. I don't know how tough they are, but I think in game terms they obviously move quite quickly. And yeah, so these are, I think these, I haven't written down, I think these are Crusade. I think they're Crusade ones. Yeah, Crusade miniatures. Crusader miniatures these are. And you get dog handlers with them. So these 2 chaps. So these were all on square bases, that's why they're now on circulars now with milliput based on there, which is hardened now, so I can paint that. So they're actually nearly finished, really. I mean, not much to do on these chaps, just some bits and bobs. The dogs are pretty much there. I might just do one more highlight, maybe. Brush, bit of dry brushing with something a bit whiter around the head and muzzles. Probably paint the ones that got tongues lolling out, paint the tongues. But they're pretty much done. So that'll be a unit done there. I mean, you actually only have 1 handler, I think, so I'll just use whatever, but I've got loads of dogs, so I can have 2 packs. Yeah, so it'll be those I might carry on with them next, actually, because since they're nearly finished, I can get them out of the way, and then get onto after I've done the Mohawks, that is, and then I can get onto those militia. So yeah, that's about it. Enjoying everybody's videos, and as usual, thanks to everybody watching and commenting and subscribing. I hope you all have a nice Christmas, and I hope you all get some nice prezzies. Hopefully hobby related stuff. I can tell you now I won't be getting hobby related stuff because my wife refuses to buy me anything like that. Says I've got too much already, so I've been naughty and gone and bought myself some stuff. Like I say, I got back into the Dark Ages things and went on Footsore and bought a few of their things. Bought some of their Normans and a few more Irish. So yeah, we're looking forward to those arriving. I don't know if they'll turn up because, you know, Christmas post being what it is. But yeah, I bought those, and I did put another order in on AW Miniatures for some more of their French Indian War, because they still got 30% sale going, and they came the other day, really nice. I have to get a few of those based up and undercoated and show them off sometime because they're very nice figures. But well, obviously you've seen that's an example of one of them there. They're very much in the Alpine Major sort of vein of sculpting, nice and chunky. So that's a French regular. Got to finish him off yet, but yeah. So I'm not getting any Christmas gifts of that vein, but I'll just order myself some. I'll just keep quiet about it. Yeah, so everybody, hope you have a nice Christmas and New Year. Take care, and speak to you all soon. Bye.